Ethylene glycol.
Really bad.
Only by the inconvenience.
You want the honest opinion?
Other
I hate
people.
it. Woke up in the hospital and I had no idea what day it was. I had no idea where I was.
The guy sprawled face down with his head in the corner against the wall.
Could a 12-year-old formulate such an elaborate murder scheme?
Poison is quiet. It doesn't scream. It doesn't shatter glass. It doesn't echo through a neighborhood. It works slowly, silently, from the inside out. And when used carefully, it could look like suicide, natural causes, or an accident, until forensic science says otherwise. This is the story of a woman who poisoned 2 husbands and then tried to frame her own daughter for murder. This is Forensic Shadows. In 2000, in the small town of Weedsport, New York, 37-year-old Michael Wallace suddenly became ill. Severe nausea, vomiting, confusion, organ failure. Doctors initially suspected a viral infection, but his condition deteriorated rapidly. Within days, he was dead.
Nobody did an autopsy. There's Stacy Castor at the hospital saying, no, he had a bad heart. And the physician comes in and just from a visual examination looks at him and says, well, this is a heart attack.
The cause, at first unclear. No signs of trauma, no obvious foul play. His wife, Stacy Castor, appeared distraught, supportive, grieving. Friends described her as attentive during his final days, devoted. But toxicology tests later revealed something alarming. Michael Wallace had lethal levels of ethylene glycol in his system. Antifreeze. It tastes sweet. It metabolizes into toxic acids that destroy the kidneys. And in small-town America, it's easy to access.
Ethylene glycol forms crystals which will affect the kidneys of an individual, eventually leading to death.
You look at Mike Wallace's major organs, you can see the little speckles of gold. You can see the little crystals in the organs.
Michael's death was ruled accidental, possibly self-inflicted. The case quietly closed, but that was only the beginning. 6 years later, in 2005, Stacy Castor remarried. Her new husband was 38-year-old David Castor. By all accounts, their marriage seemed stable, until one night, when David failed to show up for work.
My husband has locked himself in our bedroom for the last day. Friday night we got into an argument. He was aggressive, but he wasn't violent.
Okay, don't cry. We're going to check on him, make sure he's okay. Maybe he's depressed. Are you guys going through something right now?
Well, his father died a month ago, and he's been kind of weird acting the last month.
Police performed a welfare check. They found him in bed, dead.
This is a terrible scene. The guy sprawled naked on the bed. He's face down, but his head is in the corner against the wall. And there's a tremendous amount of vomitus and other biological material on the bed.
Beside him, a nearly empty glass of bright green liquid and a bottle of antifreeze.
We were able to identify ethylene glycol, the main component of antifreeze.
When I interviewed Stacy, I asked her if she knew what the substance was in antifreeze that can kill you. And she said to me, ethyl glycol. I found it very strange because most people wouldn't know that. But off the top of her head, she knew that when I asked her.
There's vomitus dripping from the bed, and you can see that there's vomitus under the antifreeze jug, but there's no vomitus on the antifreeze jug itself.
It looked like suicide. There was even a typed note on the computer, a confession. David claimed he had killed his first wife years earlier. He expressed guilt and apologized, but investigators noticed something odd. The language in the note was strangely formal.
My gut was telling me that there was something more going on with this. It just wasn't right.
Forensic computer analysis revealed something critical. The document had been edited after David was already dead. Someone else had used the computer, and that someone was Stacy Castor. Forensic computer examiners began dissecting the hard drive. Timestamps, metadata, login records. They discovered the suicide note had been drafted under Stacy's user profile. It had been opened multiple times, edited, revised. The final save occurred hours after David was estimated to have died. But the most disturbing detail was yet to come. Investigators discovered a second draft. This one framed Stacy's teenage daughter, Ashley Wallace. The letter implied Ashley had poisoned David. Stacy then added some pills to her daughter's drink to make it look like she committed suicide.
My daughter, I believe, has taken some pills.
Is she conscious?
Yes, she's normal.
Okay.
I'm leaning over her. Ashley is having trouble, I think. It sounds like there's something in her throat. Ashley.
There is a suicide note in which she claims responsibility not only for the death of David Castor, but also for the death of her own father, Michael Wallace. If Ashley Wallace killed Michael Wallace, she would have only been 12 years old at the time. And could a 12-year-old really formulate such an elaborate murder scheme?
My biggest fear was that Ashley was going to die because her vitals would crash and then they would spike back up. And that's one thing I don't think I would have ever gotten past, was if Ashley died.
The doctor said she was probably 10 minutes from death.
I actually woke up in the hospital, and I had no idea what day it was. I had no idea where I was. One of the detectives was asking me questions, like, what was in that note that you wrote? I was like, what letter? What pills are you talking about? All I remember was having a drink with my mom. That's all I knew. When I woke up and saw that police officer standing there, I absolutely knew that I didn't do it. And she was the only one there, so it had to have been her.
The implication was clear. If David's death was ruled a homicide, the blame would shift to her daughter. Ashley Wallace was 19 years old. She had already lost her father years earlier. Now she was losing her stepfather. And unknowingly, she was about to lose her freedom. Stacy had attempted to poison Ashley too. Police later discovered antifreeze-laced drinks prepared for her daughter. Ashley survived, barely. Hospital tests confirmed ethylene glycol in her system.
She killed 2 husbands. Then she tried to kill her own flesh and blood. There are no words that I'm familiar with in the English language that adequately convey that type of person.
The pattern was undeniable. 2 husbands, 1 attempted murder, all connected to one woman, Stacy Castor. Investigators uncovered financial motives, life insurance policies, property transfers, debt issues. After Michael Wallace's death, Stacy inherited assets. After David's death, she stood to gain even more. But motive alone doesn't convict, evidence does. And the digital footprint was devastating. Every keystroke, every save file, every edit, tracked, preserved, irrefutable. In 2009, Stacy Castor stood trial. Prosecutors described her as calculating, manipulative, willing to sacrifice anyone, even her own daughter, to protect herself.
The more and more we learn about psychopaths, the more and more we learn that there are more of them out there. They just don't rise to the level of a Stacey Castor.
You want the honest opinion? I hate her. I hate her.
I'll say that she is completely amoral. She is completely self-absorbed. Everything in life revolves around her. She's narcissistic to the extreme. She is troubled only by the inconvenience of other people. Mike Wallace becomes an inconvenience, I'll get rid of him. David Castor's an inconvenience, I'll get rid of him. Pick up some cash on the side, parting gifts from Don Pardo as I leave the stage of life. My daughter, I've got to frame her.
The defense argued circumstantial evidence. They claimed digital confusion, grief-induced mistakes, but the jury saw something else. Pattern, intent, preparation. She was convicted of second-degree murder and attempted murder, sentenced to 51 years to life.
If I was to go see her, there better be more than just a plexiglass window in between the two of us. I probably would slap her. But I'd be so mad and so angry that I would just scream and yell at the top of my lungs because I don't understand. I don't get it, and I don't think I ever will understand why she did what she did.
Without the forensics, this case would have ended in 2005 with the death of David Castor being ruled a simple suicide as it was. And Stacey Castor would still be walking the streets today.
And everything that she said and everything that she did just backfired on her right in her face. Because you're a killer. Bottom line, look yourself in the mirror. You know what you did. And you know what you tried to do to your daughter.
Poisoners often operate differently than other killers. They rely on trust, access, intimacy. They weaponize care. Stacey Castor didn't use force. She used proximity. She used domestic normalcy. She used love as a camouflage. That's what makes this poisoning case so disturbing. There was no break-in, no stranger in the night. The threat was already inside the home, at the dinner table, in the glass. In 2016, Stacey Castor died in prison, officially of natural causes. Her legacy remains one of the most chilling domestic betrayal cases examined on forensic files. 2 husbands dead, 1 daughter nearly framed for murder, and a digital trail that unraveled everything. Stacey Castor believed poison would leave no fingerprints, no noise, no visible violence. But she underestimated something. Forensic evolves. Computers remember. Chemistry leaves crystals behind. And even the quietest murders eventually speak. Until next time, watch closely. Because sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones pouring your drinks. This is Forensic Shadows.